Hello, this is a tutorial on how to initiate a Zoom meeting. The basic principle is that you first schedule it on a Zoom. That is what we're going to do right now. And this is the Zoom interface. I launched Zoom. If you can notice up here, says this is the Zoom interface. Now, the first thing is you set it up on Zoom. The Zoom interface will allow you to copy a piece of text that you paste into an email that you send to a bunch of people. Those people, when they receive that email, will find that there is a link in it that when they click on, will bring them into the meeting. So how do you do on the Zoom side, the setup of the meeting? You click on schedule, and in your case, I know need to meet your class tomorrow, Tuesday, March 31st, and you want to go from 10 a.m. if I remember correctly. I forget if it's 10 or 10:30, but let's say it's from 10 a.m. to March 31st at, let's say, 11:30. There we are. You want the meeting to be generated automatically by Zoom. You definitely do not want the student to need a password, to have a password, so you don't want to check that box. You want to say that you are the host and you have to be on, and the participant needs to be on in terms of video. And right here you can decide if you want them to join telephone or computer or both, and then I recommend you leave both. Lastly, here tells you how do you want to set it up on your calendar, because generally once that you create this meeting, Zoom places it on your calendar. And in this case, I don't know if you have iCalendar, Outlook, or anything else, but I leave the iCalendar because I have it. Then you open the advanced options, and here you can see that you can decide if the student are enabled to join before you show up, or if you want them to wait instead, or if you want to, for example, mute the participants. Maybe when the meeting starts, you want everybody to first be muted, because then you start talking and introduce the syllabus, and then when they need to talk, you can unmute them or they can unmute themselves. And here I would definitely leave it alone. Now, one thing that can be useful though is to, for example, automatically record the meeting. That what it will do is it will create a video that is saved locally. I'm going to uncheck the record, and I'm going to probably uncheck that they can join before you show up. If you want though, you could leave it as that they can join before you show up. It's up to you. I'm actually going to leave it as that they can, arrive and start the meeting, but it's up to you. Here, let's say if in your class there were 2 speakers that would come that day, or 2 faculty that would co-teach the class with you, then you would want to plug their email addresses here. That means these are hosts, so they're people that are going to be running the class just like you do, like a faculty it does. So having set up all this, and as I said, the kind of trickier part is the advanced options, but I tend to generally leave it to enable so they can join if they want to right before I arrive, and then I mute the participants when they start, so that they don't have the voice, so there isn't a whole lot. But maybe we can uncheck the mute the participant. That's fine. They can always get muted after the meeting starts. And then I'm going to hit schedule. And as you can remember, do you remember that I had asked that which calendar the system we wanted to use? So I'm going to say OK. And now I have that meeting set up. And now I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go under this upper tab under meeting. And I want to make sure that right now I have 2 set up because I actually did it twice, just to kind of make sure that the recording would go smoothly. So I'm going to pick one of the 2. As I said, they're the same. In fact, actually, let me delete one of the 2. Delete. So now I have only 1 there. And now I have that meeting that I just set up. You should have that 1 there. And what you want to say is you want to say copy invitation. And what it means is right now Zoom is copying a bunch of text. In fact, this is the text that is copying. That says, Enrica is inviting you to a Zoom meeting. So now that you have that copied in your memory, you want to go into your inbox and hit compose. And you want to, you know, basically say that you want to send it to your students. So I don't know the name of your students. I'm going to make up right now. I'm going to write some names here that are actually my husband and my son, you know, people that I know doesn't mind if I send them this as a test. And you can call it Zoom meeting, with Enrica on March 31st, 2020 at 10 a.m. Now, when you get here, you have to paste that text. And one way to do it is to go in Edit Paste. And now you see you have a long text. And this is really just about if you want to dial it with a phone. So ignore this stuff. But what it really matters is this upper part. This says, Enrique is inviting you to a Zoom meeting. And the meeting is at this time. And to join it, you need to click on this link. Now, the thing that is a little bit confusing is this is not a link yet. So you need to highlight it, and down here there's this little button that makes it into a link. So now when I hit send, I'm not going to hit it because I just sent my husband and child the same email earlier when I did some practice before recording this video. If I hit send, now the people that are the recipients, in your case the student, will receive an email with this link. And when it's time, they will have to click on that link about 10 o'clock, and that will bring them inside Zoom. And once they're inside Zoom, they can connect with you and you can have your class. So the most important part is really to go into Zoom and click on schedule and make sure you set all those correctly. You can leave them all to default except for this date. Obviously, the date and the time are really, really important. But you can leave the rest alone and just hit schedule. And then obviously the important part is that once you schedule it, you go into that meetings, select that meeting, and say copy invitation. And then you copy it inside an email to the people that you want to be part of that meeting. That's all the steps in Zoom. That is, first and foremost, schedule. Then once you scheduled it, go in meetings and copy the invitation, and then go into your inbox and send that invitation to who you want to be in the meeting. That's all.